But you just need one who thinks, wow, that's actually a great idea.
Hey guys, so we are now on the way to Florian. He was supposed to come with us to EHL for an event that we organized, like how to launch a restaurant, but sadly because of the whole corona crisis, it's not happening. So we are going now to one of his restaurants, which is called Fisches Fritz, and it's really nice because it's like this restaurant situated at the camping field, but it's quite popular here in Zurich. And yeah, we are super excited to go there. Today again, it's my brother behind the camera. Oder filmstellen wir das? Bitte auf dem Bild. My brother is like filming, and I can see already from how he holds the camera that he's like pointing like somewhere to the nowhere. Camera skills. Crazy, actually, like this field here, this is where like the whole restaurant would be normally, but we'll find out if this is due to the corona crisis or if it's just because it's early in the summer. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have here Florian Weber from Péclard or Pumpstation GmbH, and he was supposed to come to EHL for a talk about how to launch a restaurant. And yeah, because of this whole crisis, we just got creative and we are sitting now together to just do it digitally. So first of all, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit, how is it going with the corona crisis?
We're going to improvise, as the situation is quite necessary at the moment. It is an interesting time because just like the last couple of years, we just like how everybody were growing, they were getting bigger and bigger. And at the time right now, you really see who's financially stable or not, because, there's quite in our business as well, hospitality business, there's quite a lot of startups going on and they have fantastic ideas, but they're not really built on solid financing situations. So the thing is, like, if you have a situation like that, I think it's getting hard for them. So we're going to see quite a lot of them, just like not going to survive this situation. What most of the people forget is like hospitality is such a small margin business. So you have to take care of your margin. And if you don't have a clue of that, you're gonna be gone in a second. And I think in such a situation, you're gonna see just like the market is gonna clear itself a little bit off. And in my opinion, that's hard to say, but from time to time, it needs those situations. We never took money out of the company, which is quite important for us now. And everybody is lacking of money in the end. As I said, of cash money, because cash is king, especially in time like this, because for us it's quite important that we can pay the bills as well, for small winemakers, because if we don't pay them, they can't pay their own local producers, etc., etc. So economy-wise, it is really important that the money is still going into the market. So for us especially as well, we do have some new project, and we didn't stop them because we said we have to give the contractors, just like we have to give them work, because in the end they need as well the money, because if they don't have work, if you stop investing at the moment, then you just like keep the money out of the market, and you have to put as much money in the market at the moment as possible.
May I say, it is also quite a good opportunity right now to think about like all these building stuff and all that, because when do you get like free time like this?
Of course, and everything is closed, We do have like at the moment, we do have like 150 staff working for us, and they not working, so they're like in paid holidays, because we had to go as well to the state, for that Kurzarbeit. I have no idea, probably there doesn't exist any name in English, but still, I mean, it is a good time if you have the money, and if you want to invest in new project, it is the perfect time, because everything is closed down, you have the manpower, you can put money as well into the markets, so, and you don't lose anything in the end, because everything is closed down. So if you want to refurbish anything, we refurbish everywhere. I mean, we just like started refurbish here. We do refurbish another restaurant. We wanted to build it up in September, October, and we plan to close it 2 months. And now we just like advanced everything. So we said, okay, at the moment, April, everything is closed. So we're going to refurbish right now.
When you look at France and other businesses, did you see like any creative concept, any crazy ideas they had to still make some kind of business in these difficult times?
To be honest, we didn't know exactly if we should open up delivery or takeaway, and then we made the decision, no, we're not going to do that. In my opinion, delivery and takeaways, it is a market on its own. And you do have so many players which are made for that concept. And if you really want to go in there as not catering or takeaway or delivery professional, I don't think that you're going to succeed. And then I think by the beginning of May, they're going to restart with restaurants, but in small numbers, maybe just like they shut it down. So they said you're just only allowed to have 50 customers in a place. Or
but this is also that kind of kills you, no?
Yeah, in the end, it's like, it depends, at least something is going on then, I mean, then it's organization-wise. So you need a lot of like security stuff because, everybody wants to come, especially everything is locked down now. And if we would be allowed to open up for 50 people, you need like security, just like not proper security, but just like, because then you have like, in my opinion, if the weather is good and everybody wants to go out. So just like, everybody will come to the lake, and if we're only allowed to have 50 people, we really have to take care that it's not going to be more, because then it's like, then I don't think that we don't have huge discussion, but the people, they want to come out, so they're going to queue for hours just to get a table and having a glass of rosé and fish and chips or whatever they want to, because they want to go out of their flats, so like the big events, like we're going up 1,000 people clubbing, that's going to be tough. I'm not so sure. Then it depends if you do have like a second wave is coming in September, October. In my opinion, they're gonna close down as well the customs. So I think there not many tourists will come in and go out. It's a good thing, because in the end, if you could keep the Swiss in Switzerland this year, and they're supposed to spend their money, which they saved at the moment because they can't spend a lot. And if they spend it in Swiss venues and restaurants, so if they go to the mountains and have like summer holidays in the mountains and not in Miami or wherever else, it is, first of all, a good thing, because if you start traveling again, you're going to start spread the COVID-19 virus again. And on top of that, they're going to spend the money in Switzerland.
It helps our economy.
It helps massively. So I think that would be a really good thing if we're still going to shut down a little bit. They can travel in Switzerland, but not let too many people coming in there.
Let's forget the coronavirus just for a second and get a little bit happier times. With all of your experience, like, what do you think are the most important factors to attract customers to a restaurant?
Good question.
Thank you.
It is. I think you should start with like location-wise, because I always going to repeat myself there. It's like Mr. Hilton said. The 3 most important points is like location, location, location. So if you have a good location, not just like half of the rent is done, but then you have a good point to start off. For us, it's like, I mean, we have 8 restaurants at the border of the lake. So for us, the lake is quite the key. If you don't have a good location, then you just need a name. For example, Andreas Caminada. I mean, he has his restaurant in Fürstenau. Fürstenau is not downtown Switzerland. I mean, you just...
I don't even know where it is, and I'm from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Graubünden, so it's you have to drive there.
Yeah.
So, but his name is a destination. You go to Andreas Caminada, and it doesn't matter. He could be on top of Matterhorn. You would go there because of its name. He has a brand. So it's like destination-wise, you go there. So either you have a fantastic name or you have a good location. That's the 2 key things I have. Obviously, to get a name is quite hard, because it takes time.
Especially for a beginner.
Especially for a beginner. But to get the fantastic location, it's not easy as well.
And as a complete beginners, what kind of factors are there that, let's say, me as a just graduate can actually do?
Be fearless. I mean, what can you lose? I mean, in the end, if you just graduated, and you want to go for it, go for it. You know, I mean, in the end, as well, for us to get location from time to time, we just write letters to owners of buildings. And, you know, and we just ask them, guys, you know, I mean, there's just like a room which is not used. Shall we open a restaurant up in there? And then, you know, like 99 times, they don't even write you back. They say, who are you, man? You want to open up a restaurant? You crazy? But you just need one who thinks, wow, that's actually a great idea. Or maybe 100 out of 100 don't write you back. But half a year later, or maybe 2 years later, they have still a room left. And then they start to think, actually, a restaurant would be good. There was somebody who wrote me a letter, and they're going to keep those letters for sure, because we experienced that as well. You know, we had people writing us back 12 years ago, stuff like that. They said, look, 12 years ago you wrote a letter, and now we just like found it. And guys, that's fantastic. You're still interested? So I think you just have to try it, you know, just go for it.
I remember once at the talk you said exactly here about how to find a location that your benefit, like your strength, is that you're incredible fast.
Yeah.
And there also you use the term cash is king.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Of course. It is, as I said before, in a situation like coronavirus, cash is king as well, because then you can buy everything. And if you can pay it, you get whatever you want. So as you said, fast and cash is king. If you want to start up something, you know, most of the hidden treasures, what we call it, you know, if you're just like at the border of the lake, I mean, you have so many different small places or venues or restaurants, and those are just like diamonds which are not finished right now. And then if you approach them, or if they approach you, you must be fast, because in the end, it's like most of the owner, they don't know exactly what they're having there. You know, private owned, and they have a room at the border of the lake, and they think, yeah, it is a room. So they have not really an idea what they should do with it or what it is worth. So if you're really fast, you can get a contract quite good with good condition. And if you still have to pay a little for it, then you can pay it because you have the cash, you know, because you don't have to go to the bank and ask for money. So you can tell them, guys, I pay you whatever you want, not whatever you want, but you make it like a contract and a deal, and then you can pay it straight away, today or after, just like the day after. You don't have to go to the bank and ask, and then you have to make, okay, look, we have to see if we can give you the money, blah, 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 blah. And then maybe it's already too late, because if those people go on the free market, you're always going to find somebody who's willing to pay quite a lot for it because he wants the location.
There's an EHL startup called Store Media, and they create everything from websites to logos, but they do also social media advertisements and all that stuff. They gave me a few questions to ask you, so I would love to start by asking you, how important do you think is Instagram? Are you using it for your restaurant? Or if not, why?
Good question. I think it's really important, you know, because it depends what kind of marketing you want to do. But I think that the most valuable thing about Instagram, it's for free. You know, we do experience that at Rooftop Medissa, and we do have plenty of reservation, and they ask, especially tourists, they're coming in and say, look, we saw your place on Instagram and we want to dine there because it's above Bahnhofstrasse and you have a lovely view, you know, have that big Swiss flags hanging there above Bahnhofstrasse. So it's like for them, it's a place what they want to go. If I go somewhere else, from time to time, I check as well the venues out of Instagram, because it's fun to see, because you get a different point of view of the restaurants. Obviously, if you're just like gonna put some marketing, photo shootings picture up, in my opinion, it doesn't work so good, because social media, in my opinion, is like it's the real life.
It has to be organic.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we just been to New York in February, lucky us before the whole thing started up there. They started restaurants by creating a concept for the restaurants, just having Instagram in mind. So they just were building tables and plates and wallpapers just to make it Instagrammable. So they choose special tables and plates because they knew if you take a picture, it's going to look fantastic on Instagram. And that was the main reason. That was the main reason, because they choose those tables.
Yes.
And we use that as well, you know, because we're going to open up...
like Instagrammability.
Exactly, but not to pay for it, but the customers which coming in that venue.
Yeah, you're maximizing the organic.
Exactly, and they want to take
exposure.
pictures for them, and then you have like the influencers coming to you free of charge because they said, I don't care if you pay me or not, but it's such a cool place, and I want to take a picture and I want to post it, and then you just have free marketing again,
Yeah,
you
it's
have
pretty
free
much.
so
I
it's
think your restaurants definitely with the location. I bet many people will tag themselves like posting pictures of the lake. But also yesterday when I talked to the Samigo Amusement, I mean they built their business on this Instagram ability. Yeah. So what do you think about email lists? Is this something that you use, or?
We're still doing some newsletter stuff. We do have like an email list with 6,000 to 7,000 emails on it, which is important for us as well. In our opinion, a newsletter actually it's such an old school thing, but it's so old school that it can get interesting and funny as well. So if you do newsletter, we always say if you make a newsletter, you must laugh about it. So it's always crazy because it doesn't matter what it's written on it. It must be just like if you open it up, you must laugh. Because in the end, if you go into the office at Monday at 8 o'clock, you have like the first 20 mails or newsletters. So you just like delete them. You don't even look at it. So for us, it's always important when do we send the newsletter. So we always try to send it like 10:30 because 10:30 is a good time in our opinion because everybody's coming back after the break, and then they they have like fresh air, they had their cigarette break or whatever, or just like 2 in the afternoon. If you laughed about it, you start thinking as well later on it, and it doesn't matter when it's written on it, but you received the newsletter in the morning about Fischer's Fritz, you loved it, and in the evening you said, let's have a drink. Oh, that was that funny newsletter thing at Fischer's Fritz. Let's have a drink there. Oh yeah, they open up because it's March. So for us, it's like it's more a reminder. So to remind the guests, hey, we're still here. It doesn't matter what it's written on it. So we just want to approach it in a different way.
At Pumpstation, you have a very special system with the employee role, like how the salary works.
Yeah.
What can you tell us more about it?
The thing is, we don't pay them just like on a monthly salary. So what they earn is like they get between 7 and 9% of their sales. So whatever they sell, they get 9%. That's the salary, for example.
And this is usually more than.
Usually it is much more than the average pay because average pay or minimum salary is like 4,200 and a couple of Swiss francs. The service employees is actually self-employed with us because they try to upsell. They try to sell not an espresso. They said, oh, look, it's April. What a fantastic afternoon. You want to have your coffee in your office? I know it's for free. You have to pay it here. Or you want to stay with us for another 20 minutes and have another coffee at the lake. So, it's already sold, as well. If I'm in a restaurant and somebody approached me like that, I'm going to take another coffee if I want to or not. It doesn't matter because this was like, that's a good one, And it is, in my opinion, that's how it works. You want to have good service, and good service means as well that they're taking care about you. Obviously, you have to take care that it's not a hard upselling because if your staff is trying too much to sell again and again, that's the only danger what you have to take care. But for that, you have like a manager who's there for 5 years, so they just have to take care and let them know as well. That was too much, so take it easy, Tiger. But in the end, it's like you try to sell. For example, last year we had, I think it was a record-wise. We never had that in those 10 years which I'm working here. Just like one service guy, he made 150 grand a month. So he made 150 grand sales, which is fantastic,
crazy.
But
Crazy.
in the end, it is a good idea because he made 150. I'm paying 11 out of 150, so I do have like 130 left for me without tax. So if I just pay him 4,500 Swiss francs, maybe he's only making 100,000 or 120. So why not spending that much what he made more as well on him?
A win-win for everyone.
It's win-win for everybody.
So yeah, just a battery diet. So we're gonna jump forward to the last question, and this is a really interesting one, which I don't know. I spend a lot of time like thinking about it. But how big can you become with restaurants here in Switzerland?
That's a good question. I think if you just like ask this question, you lose. It depends. It depends on the topic. First of all, how big you want to get. For me, that's like strategy-wise, which you have to think about if you start up, if you have a company. And that's a good question. But Michelle, my business partner, and I are always discussing about it because in the end, it's like we want to run our business like a family business. And then quite a lot of people ask us, what's the max size of restaurants what you can get that you still have those kind of organization? And it is always a good question, how big do we want to get, how big can we get, and what do we want to achieve or not? Because if you look at Condrian or Two Spice, for example, Bindella, you know, they're huge. I mean, they have like 1,000 employees plus. But if you talk to them, you know, we do know all of them quite good. And we just have a discussion with Donny Kern, which is the co-owner of Two Spice. And he said, you know, when we were small, everything was more fun. Because then you can react more, you know, you don't have like those fixed structure which you need if you have like 1,000 staff upwards. It is getting tougher and tougher because, you know, I mean, we're not really into meetings, and we do need more meetings to organize the company because the size is getting bigger. So how big can you get? It depends what you want to do. If you want to go into franchise, I think you can get quite big. I mean, if you do like Bindella, I mean, he's doing like franchise concept with Santa Lucia. Then you just take a concept and you go to Basel, to Bern, to St. Gallen, and then you can just like multiply pretty easy. Then you need a structure, and if the structure is working and the restaurant is working, quite easy. You can scale it as much as you want. I mean, we turn down quite a lot of offers, especially in times like this. Let's say we do get every week we get an offer from a restaurant which you could take over, and the cool thing for us is we had to learn that as well, that we just can't say no, we're not going to do that because it's too much work, it's too much risk, because we don't have to. If we're going to make a new concept, it's because we want to create something new. So that's a good thing. You know, we opened up restaurants because we think we're the best and we're the greatest. And then we lost quite a lot of money. And then so we had to learn it on the hard way as well to say no. It's interesting, you know, because then you have like young people coming into the company, and if you have a lot of young people, they always push as well, and they want to create and they want to achieve new things. So as long as you have like, those people in the company, it's always fun because they always push you as well forward, you know. And then it's like a dynamic which is really, in our opinion, a fantastic dynamic because it gets you keep going, and that is what is actually the fun part of everything, you know. And if you succeed, it's even more fun. But in the end, you know, we had as well some project where we lost money. So it's not all of our restaurants are cash cows. I mean, it's impossible with 40 restaurants. But as I said, you know, it's important if you don't have if you lose money, you learn the lesson on the hard way. I mean, everybody is going to learn some lessons. Either you're losing money or whatever happens. And then you have to think about what was the problem, and then you have to find solution. And if you have the solution, you have to go for it. Again, 150%. Yeah, but in the end, as long as it's fun, just go for it.
Hey Flo, thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
It was really a pleasure. And see you at EHL soon. Huh?
I will definitely come. Thank you very much.
Thank you.